And welcome to the show. It's Two Guys, Two Things.
That's us.
This is the comedy podcast where you will laugh the socks off your shoes.
That's 2 weeks in a row. You emphasize comedy.
You know why? Because I think the more that we say comedy, we will be coming up in the search for comedy.
Okay.
Because right now they have us under entertainment news.
Well, I mean,
We're not.
we're not, but I think it's close.
So I think for the next, 5 seconds, if we just say comedy a lot.
Comedy,
bang, bang, comedy, bang, bang.
funny, comedy.
Oh, now they can search comedy, bang, bang.
Oh, shit.
Damn it. That maybe that will come up in the comedy section.
Yeah. But it is entertaining, and we do give, news stories. So it makes sense.
Okay.
It does make sense.
All right.
Because we're not just a straight comedy podcast.
Oh, man, that's a good one. Hey, should we get a laugh track?
Yes.
How cool would that be if we bought a laugh track?
Well, so it wouldn't.
Is that a thing to buy?
It wouldn't be. Yeah, we can buy it, but it wouldn't be cool in our hands because I think we would overuse
All the time?
Overuse it. Yeah.
We wouldn't know the power of it,
Right.
like Spider-Man.
Yeah. We would overuse it.
With the great responsibility comes great laugh tracks.
Yes. Yeah. Don't buy a laugh track if we're not going to be responsible for it.
Damn it. But this is the podcast where we take two semi-trending stories, entertainment stories,
Yes.
supposedly.
Entertainment news stories.
News stories. And then, we discuss them.
Mm-hmm.
We debate them.
Sure.
We
Make fun of them.
We roast them.
Roast them.
We when you soak something in marinade, we marinate them.
Marinate. Yeah, that's it. When you marinate something, you marinate it. Soak something in a marinade.
And then we talk about it for 15 minutes.
If I were going to give you 10 guesses,
yes.
What do you call something that you soak in a marinade? What do you call that?
A bath.
Nope, that's one.
Sauna.
Don't do 10.
Okay. And then that's it. So, but to decide who gets to tell their 15-minute story first that we can discuss, we decided we have to make a bet.
Yeah.
On something that's going on in the news, something that everyone's talking about. This is the big story, right? And there was really maybe no bigger headline than this week. Donald Trump said, "Hey, I'm going to go back to the site of my assassination attempt."
Yeah. It was big.
In Butler, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Just to spite.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a big moment.
Show them who's who.
It's a big moment.
Yeah.
And we made a bet.
Angel, we're blue, not red.
We thought that... Okay, we knew he's going to get someone big.
No, that was the thing. We're like, hey, listen, it's not just going to be him giving a speech.
Right.
He's bringing somebody on.
Yes,
somebody
right.
huge.
Bigger than Scott Baio, we were thinking.
Bigger than Baio, bigger than Hulk Hogan.
Ooh, I don't know.
Bigger than the dude that plays Hercules. What's his name? Sorbo. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was like, okay, so let's make the bet. Who's it going to be? I just went big. I just went with one of the biggest names out there. I just said it makes sense. Elon Musk.
He interviewed him.
Yeah, he interviewed him. He talks about him all the time on Twitter, and so it made sense to me. I said Elon Musk. He was going to get him to be at the rally.
Right. Well, that was you turned out to be correct.
Yeah, I forgot who you.
Well, I said it was going to be Omarosa.
Yeah.
And Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah.
And in my defense, Rudy Giuliani did show up.
Yeah.
To a butler.
To a butler.
Somewhere in upstate New York. Okay. It wasn't the same.
It wasn't the same.
Wasn't the same butler.
He wasn't at the rally.
He wasn't the rally butler.
Yeah, I thought it was a weird guess.
He showed up at Mr. Belvedere's door.
Yeah, because we spent 5 minutes talking about how big the person needs to be.
Right.
And
I mean, Omarosa though, she's kind of scary.
A little bit.
I mean, she's powerful.
Bit of an asshole.
Yeah, earned or not earned.
A little bit of both. I think. Okay.
Either way, Chris, you won. You get to tell your 15-minute story. First, let me put 50 minutes on the clock, and then when that goes off, there will be an assassination attempt in your life.
Okay. That's rough. I don't want to do this podcast anymore. Okay, so we're gonna go to New York, and we're gonna talk about a man went on TikTok, a little upset.
Okay.
He likes to make cakes for his friends for their birthdays, and not just regular cakes. He didn't go at the grocery store, get a box.
Oh yeah, get the box cake.
He makes intense, huge cakes.
Intense
cakes for his friend's birthdays usually, and it's usually a big deal that when he does this. And so for a particular friend, he made a cake. All his friends went out to a restaurant and brought the cake with them so they can have a cake cutting and eat the cake at the end of dinner.
An official cake cutting.
Official cake cutting.
That must be a big birthday.
As fancy restaurants do.
Okay.
Bottle openings and cake cuttings.
Did they also premiere a yacht?
No yacht in this restaurant.
Was there like is the new Titanic?
No new Titanic in this restaurant either. Just a big cake.
Okay.
About the size of a Titanic.
Okay.
And his TikTok.
It was the unsinkable cake.
Yes, it was. And not the uneatable cake, but the unsinkable cake. And in his TikToks, he makes a big deal about how big this cake is.
Okay.
He said, "Here's the cake. Look, it's about bigger than my head." He keeps referencing the size of this cake. It took him 5 or 6 hours to make.
Wow.
Okay. So they meet at the restaurant. They give the cake to the restaurant and say, "Hey, can you do this cake cutting?" They go sit down. The restaurant brings it to the back. And at the end
was this a BYOC?
This particular restaurant allows that. I don't think it's not known for a BYOC.
It's not known for a BYOC.
No, but you can bring your own C.
But if you were a PYT, could you BYOC?
No.
What if it was TGIF?
Then they don't do cake cuttings there.
Okay.
Yeah. They don't believe in that.
Okay.
So they took it back.
But WWJD.
One more. One more. And at the end of the night, they said, "We're ready for the cake." And the restaurant brought out, there was 12 people.
Okay.
And brought out 12 pieces of cake. And he was saying he said millimeters thin. They were a little thicker than that, but they were very thin pieces of cake. He said millimeters.
He brought it as
Yeah, he said millimeters.
Wait a minute.
Excuse me. My cake is only 3 millimeters wide.
According to my calculations.
So he got a little perturbed because he was like, "Hey, cool. I guess this is the size of the slices that they're cutting. That's cool." Everyone ate their little thin piece of cake, and at the end of the night, he said, "Cool. Can I have the rest of the cake? Since you clearly did not give me the whole cake." Because remember, he kept saying how big it was?
Yeah, it was bigger than his head.
So then he took the size of the slices.
Of course, his head is only 5 millimeters.
Well, that was the problem.
Okay.
He had millimeter size
He had
head.
yeah.
That was the problem.
Sure.
And when you have millimeter size heads, you can't reference how big things are.
That does make sense.
So he made a big deal about how big it was. So he's like, he said it felt a little weird. And so he kind of, in his mind, took the size of the slice of the cake, multiplied it by 12. Because that's how many slices that were cut.
Sure.
And said, this is about half the cake. So when he asked the restaurant, for the rest of the cake back, they said, "No, there's no more cake.
There's no cake back.
There's no cake. No cake backs.
He got no cake backs?
No cake backs.
Because in politics, it's all about cake backs.
Yes.
Isn't it?
This restaurant, yes, it is all about
That's what I hear.
It's all about
they
cake
keep saying
backs.
like, hey, there's no cake backs.
Yeah.
You get cake backs in politics.
And
I'm hearing that right.
Or this restaurant. No, restaurant or the politics.
Okay.
No cake backs.
Okay, that's what I hear.
Yeah. So here's a picture of the cake.
Okay.
I don't like this.
Well, explain what this is.
Yeah, it looks like broken up pieces of graham crackers. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's got...
And he said 5 6 hours. Baking, he must have counted the baking. Because this is not an elaborate cake. It's a big cake.
It's a big cake.
But it's not
a
elaborate. It's a smooth, couple tiered, layered cake, right?
Okay.
So once they said no cake backs, and he said, "Well, there should be about half left." There should be about half left. He got a little perturbed, went on TikTok, and was like, "I think the restaurant ate half my cake."
That's a big accusation.
It's a bit without knowing, it's a big accusation. But he's like, "I think the restaurant ate about half my cake." He has 300,000 followers on TikTok.
Okay.
We just got 1,000.
Yeah. Just like that.
We just hit 1,000.
So yeah, my question now: are they legitimate followers, or did
They
he buy
seem
them?
like it.
Did they buy them like we did, Chris?
No, we didn't buy anything. So they seem legitimate. But he has 300,000 followers. Went on TikTok.
Look, we actually bought this podcast. It was.
We did.
It was for sale.
It was somebody else's
It was a
podcast.
fledgling podcast.
Yeah. So like, hey, we need to make some money off of this.
We took it over.
Give me $20. You can have the podcast.
Yeah, we thought we could flip it.
And we ran this $20 podcast into the ground.
That's right. I thought we could flip the podcast.
It's gotten worse.
It's a lot harder. Than I thought.
It's gotten a lot worse. Took us 4 years, but
That's right.
It's gotten worse. So told everybody a story, and people online, like as they do, went bananas. They were looking up this restaurant, shaming them, all bad shit, right? So he felt. So that's kind of where we're at in the story when his video ended. But
wait.
Yes.
So he accused the restaurant,
yes, of eating half his cake.
eating half the cake. Mm-hmm. What proof? Was the proof in the pudding?
The proof was in.
Or was the proof in the cake?
The proof was in the math in his head.
Okay.
Looking at the pieces,
Uh-huh.
going times 12. That's
This isn't
about
right.
That's about half.
Sure.
And that's about as far as he went. It just didn't seem right to him.
Got it.
That's about all he had. So again, 5 to 6 hours to make. So Nordheimer said that the guy's last name Nordheimer, said he initially called the location, which he did not name in the video. He was not trying.
He's a gentleman.
He was not trying to shame them, but
He's a gentleman.
Yeah, called him ahead of time, all that good stuff, and
He swore like a sailor, but he was a gentleman in not telling the truth.
and he swore they took half his cake. So just a day later, he returned to TikTok
Okay.
with an update on the cake dilemma. Okay, revealing that
On the cake caper.
yes, because now it's. Especially, here's the thing. We talked about it a little bit earlier. When you have 300,000 followers, a million, whatever, you do have a little responsibility not just to say shit willy-nilly online. Because you have a lot of fans. They will go to bat for you. You can't just say shit willy-nilly.
See, that's where I like that we can, because we don't have the followers.
Can.
The Holocaust was fake.
Oh, boy.
Right? We can say that.
And
right? What else can we say willy-nilly? Anything else?
no. Definitely.
Should we just leave it at that one?
But here's the thing. I wouldn't have.
Uh-huh.
But you went full boat straight ahead. You should have built up to that.
But everyone agrees to that one.
A lot of people do.
Yeah, I think that's
Hopefully not our followers.
that's fair.
You just went.
No, if there's another example.
Yeah, there would have been, but you can't top that. You gotta build.
Rye is the best sandwich bread.
You gotta. Okay, see now you started low.
Which is
again.
weird because then you think that would go against the Holocaust thing.
You started low with the rye. Maybe start with rye bread.
Start with rye.
Yes, build up to.
Huh.
Holocaust is fake.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can't because you can't go anywhere from that.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
He can't go past that.
I don't
Okay.
know.
So went back on TikTok a day later to update everybody. He revealed that 3 different people within the steakhouse's management, the restaurant that he took the cake to, 3 different people from the management team at the steakhouse called him to confirm they neglected to give back a portion of the cake after looking at the security footage.
They looked at the
So it
security.
became so big. He didn't ask them to look at security footage. It became so big, and this restaurant got so bombarded.
Oh my God.
The managers had to go, I guess, let's fucking look at the
Wow.
security footage.
It'd be so funny if they
some
were actually
cake?
like broken into that night, but all the cameras were focused on just the cake.
Yeah. They lost $1 million that night.
Someone robbed us.
Yeah. So
But all we have is the footage of the cake.
he made such a big deal out of it that on their own called him
Wow.
and said, look, we neglected to give back a portion. They didn't say half.
This is the power of the influencer.
Listen, the internet's a powerful thing.
Wow.
Yeah, and they said they most likely forgot about it and it was left in the kitchen, which goes against his story because he said he asked for the rest of the cake. When the night was over. When the night was done, he said, can I have the rest of the cake back? Mm-hmm. And they said, cake back. He said, and he said they told him there wasn't any.
He said, so there are no cake
No,
backs.
no cake backs.
I don't know who you think you are.
There
are no cake
You're
backs.
certainly not in the government. So he said they most likely forgot about it. Like, all right, so still bad. You can't just not give me my cake back. Right? So they said, Nordheimer said they were super kind, offered a free dinner for 2 back at the restaurant to make up for it. And
Right.
they said obviously this whole situation was disappointing, that we didn't get our leftovers, but most likely what was happened is that they just forgot about it. And it was a busy Saturday night and the cake was left in the back.
Huh.
Right. So the stories aren't quite matching up with his first story. But,
That's true. But
okay.
now I'm just wondering, and I don't think they talk about this at all, but I would think this would affect the tip I would have left.
It would have.
If you don't get your own.
Well-
you brought the cake.
Well, yes, exactly.
And then you don't get your full cake that you made yourself to the restaurant.
And this is why I don't buy the story of they forgot about it. Because if you brought a cake that you say you spent 5 to 6 hours on, we do this for my friend, all this time and energy, and you didn't say, can I have it back? Because if the restaurant just says, oh, I forgot about it, and you're like, oh, that sucks, you wouldn't have been like, I'm not leaving without the rest of my cake. If you spent this much time on it, that's something you're asking for.
Yeah,
So something, either the restaurant story or his initial story.
Are you saying he didn't make his own cake?
No, he made it.
Are you accusing him of not making
No,
his own
he
cake?
made it. He made it. He made it. But
That's worse than the Holocaust thing
Yeah.
that I said. If you were saying he didn't make his own cake,
that's worse.
that is way worse.
So they're gonna do like a Schindler's List movie about the no cake backs. That's how bad this situation is.
I don't know. What is this movie? What is this?
What, Schindler's List?
I don't know. Keep going.
So to be clear, the restaurant
Doesn't seem like a real movie.
Doesn't seem like one. I'm just making. To be clear, the restaurant said they had referenced the footage of the kitchen that evening to get an exact sense of how much cake was left. This is getting like way too deep for what actually happened. Like, bro, I wish maybe on our site we'll play his TikTok. Like we'll stitch it or something, right?
Okay.
Because I can't emphasize to you guys enough how big a deal he made this cake out to be. Like he thinks it was
the cake to end all cakes.
Yeah, he thinks it was like the royal wedding cake.
Okay.
You know, and he's making it a big deal.
Yeah.
And so the restaurant was like, I guess we'll check it, sire. He's like, whatever you want to do. He said, so the restaurant says, while we acknowledge that we failed to pack up the remaining 2 slices, not half the cake. The restaurant admitted to 2 slices.
Because we ate the other, 4 slices.
Yeah, the accusations that the staff ate the cake completely false. Because that's what he was saying.
Yeah, that's a big leap.
It is
to go straight to that.
And let me ask you this, because so they say there's 2 slices left. He was saying when I first initially thought it was half a cake, half this huge cake.
Right.
One, how do you misjudge it by that much?
That's a lot. Well,
Like,
we
if you're
saw
him.
the picture of the cake. That is a big cake.
It's a big cake.
And if you're saying they were seen
Thin,
thin,
and only each person got 1.
then I understand where he's like, where is the rest of it?
But it's still 12 slices of cake, though.
But you still think, where's the rest of it?
Of course.
But to jump to, they must have eaten it.
Well, right, because
I worked at a restaurant. You worked at a restaurant.
Yes, and I saw somebody that stitched it as well, which, yes, obviously, I've been in a back of the house where, not on purpose, but the servers / sous chefs and everything are monsters. So if they just see any free food in the back of the house, they'll eat it. That's not out of the ordinary. Just to see something back there.
No, I was a dishwasher. I wasn't allowed to touch anything.
Well, then, yeah, so you get it.
Okay. I got what was ever left on the plate to wash.
Yeah. You're like, before I wash it, let me get a little piece. Yeah. No,
there's some cheese down here.
It's true though that if some people just thought it was like someone brought cake, without even asking, they would have ate it. That part of it is true.
Okay. You worked at more upscale places than I did.
But
so
maybe that's true too.
Of the upscale places.
But this lady who worked the lady who worked in a restaurant also said more than likely.
Was that an episode of The Bear?
Eating cake in the back?
Yeah.
There was cake in the Bear. I don't think it was specifically about eating someone's cake in the back. But
episode 13, wasn't it?
It was 8.
Okay.
Episode 8. But there was an episode about bringing a cake out to someone's birthday, but they didn't eat it.
Oh.
Because they're a high-end restaurant. But high-end restaurant most likely won't eat it. But what she suggested was that something could have happened to some of the cake. Something fell on it. So if half the cake was damaged.
Something fell on it.
Or something happened to half the cake where whatever.
One of the stooges came and threw it in someone's
or if it
face.
fell and it smashed half of it. Then they're like, well, if we cut the cake in half and just serve that half.
Your cake is ready.
Then they'll never know. So anyway, if there's a silver lining to the whole thing, he says, is that my friend whose birthday it was absolutely loves the fact that this whole thing blew up and thinks it's so funny and hilarious and popping up on tabloids or whatever, he says. And that's nice and all. Not funny to the restaurant who got calls and people were sleuthing and really
Well,
dug
that's
in.
what's crazy is that like,
They
he
dug
didn't, he
into
didn't
it.
say the name of the restaurant.
Yeah, but they dug into it and
But is that the actual restaurant?
yeah.
Or is it some other restaurant? Like,
No,
we weren't the ones, guys.
No, it's the actual restaurant. That's why they went.
Wow.
That's why they looked at the footage. But it's not funny to them. You can't just accuse people of doing that to your shit. You know what I mean? Without knowing. Again, I will. Before we leave,
I need to wait for the made-for-TV movie on this.
I can't wait for the. I can't wait for the Lifetime movie.
Could you imagine this
The Lifetime, the Lifetime cake movie. But before you start accusing, again, that's fine. But I'll leave it with this. If it was such a big deal, if you were so sure that half the cake was gone, why did you leave the restaurant without the cake? And if they said there wasn't anything left, then why did you believe believe them when they said, "Oh no, we actually gave it to you all"? So like, it's not matching up. Like he just wanted to fucking do something online and make a big story, and it blew up, and now we're talking about it. It's on people.com. It's
Wow.
it's everywhere. So
Okay.
not funny to the restaurant workers who got accused of eating cake and possibly fired.
Oh, I know.
That
right?
part of it's not funny. I'm glad your
God,
friend thinks
I
it's
hope-
hilarious.
Hope no one was
But
fired.
this
for
guy
that.
got fired. No, yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Before I go to my story, what is like the best cake you've had?
Ever. So my favorite growing up was angel food cake. Just simple. I don't like a lot of frosting.
Okay.
I like.
and I actually do not like angel food. Interesting.
All right.
My favorite dessert is strawberry
Shortcake.
Shortcake, yes.
Okay.
But not angel food.
Okay. But what they're similar.
It's biscuits.
Yeah, I know exactly.
You make your own biscuits.
Yeah,
and
right.
then,
It's the cousin of like an angel food because angel
Yeah.
food just known just to put the strawberries on top.
Yes.
But I'm not.
Mine takes effort.
That's true. That's true. I'm not a like pastry / cake guy anyway. I'm
Okay.
more of like an ice cream guy. But my favorite cake I've ever had, it was like I think it was just a regular cake, but the frosting it wasn't regular frosting. It was marshmallow, and then they torched it. So you cut into it. And it wasn't like that like really sweet sugary frosting. It was like this toasted marshmallow on the cake.
Oh, whoa.
And I was like, oh yeah, if this is cake, that's cake. I'll do cake all day
Wow,
long.
that's interesting. It's like a s'more.
Yeah, it was real nice. Because I'm not a frosting guy, but that was one of my favorite cakes that I
That's
had.
interesting.
Like a dessert, just give me some ice cream, man. Give me some peanut butter chocolate ice cream.
We found, yeah, sounds good. We found it was my 30th birthday and my wife's 30th birthday. We had this cake place that we found that made these amazing cakes. And I got, for my birthday, it was a Yo Gabba Gabba themed party, my 30th birthday.
I do remember this. Okay.
And there is video on YouTube.
Yeah. Yes.
Look at Matt's 30th birthday party, Yo Gabba Gabba.
Yeah, it's
It'll
pretty
come
good.
up.
Pretty good, actually.
It's funny.
It's pretty good.
But-
they took time and effort, man. It was impressive.
DJ Lance Rock. They did the cake in the shape of DJ Lance Rock.
I don't know what. Explain DJ Lance.
Don't worry, you gotta watch Yo Gabba Gabba to know. Okay.
Oh,
He's
okay.
the narrator.
It's part
if
of
you
Yo
will.
Gabba Gabba. Got it.
She gave me it was amazing.
That's cool.
And then for her birthday, we've always wanted to go to England. We still haven't done it. So I thought I'll bring England to her.
That's
so
awesome.
It was like a double decker bus cake.
Oh, okay.
And
That's
it
cool.
was like raised like double decker. And
That's
it was
cool.
like it was really good. It was cool.
I like that.
It was really neat.
A lot of effort in those two birthdays.
It was.
Oh, by the way, on the 26th, Saturday, the day before my birthday, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You didn't
your
seem like
birthday's
you
coming
registered. You didn't seem like you registered.
Okay.
We're doing Topgolf if you want to go.
Oh, cool. I'm busy. All right. Let's go on to my story. It's also about cake, Chris. Breathe. We'll talk
rough.
after show.
No, just say yes on camera so I can hold you to it.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, your story. Damn, so mean, dude.
Damn. So I'm also going with. Let me put 15 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, let's do 30 minutes. Let's do 30.
You get 15, I get 30.
I like that. It's probably better.
It's another story about cake.
I love it.
Okay. This is about a baker who says an angry customer told him his cake ruined
Okay.
her daughter's birthday.
Angry customers went to the person who made the cake and said,
Yeah.
the cake that you made me ruined my daughter's birthday."
Correct.
Seems like that's a bit of a jump so far, but okay, got it.
You don't think
a
that
little-
a cake has the power
A little bit,
to ruin someone's
a
birthday?
little bit of an overreaction
I have had many a birthdays ruined by a cake.
by a cake that you bought from somebody. Okay,
Like I have like a fantastic day,
but then you saw the cake.
and then again I cry.
Yeah, I get
Tears.
it. I get it. Seems like a bit
I start throwing shit,
like an overreaction, but
and the day's ruined.
listen, I understand.
And it can't be fixed unless I get a new cake. You haven't had that experience?
Not exactly, but I get
This
it.
is where you and I
We differ. You
differ.
cry at cakes.
This is why I'm not coming to your birthday party.
I'm not gonna have cake.
Oh, well, then I'll come.
Okay.
So it's a Southern Baker's who he had an angry customer, and he had garnered a lot of sympathy across the internet because he posted about it. So
this is the maker of the cake that posted about it.
the maker of the cake posted it.
Okay.
So Gregory Mason, he owns the Treat Yourself Bakery
Don't like it.
in
Okay.
in Wilson, North Carolina, with his husband, Alexander Mason.
Alexander Mason. I was trying to do an Alexander Madison thing.
Don't do that.
Don't. Son of a baker. Chef. I got it. I'm not quick enough.
They posted a video on their TikTok at Trashy Queens with a Z.
Better than Treat Yourself Bakery.
It is. Telling the story about a customer who was unsatisfied with their birthday cake order, and it went viral, collecting over 25 million views.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah, it's a
See,
lot.
this is so funny.
That's really viral.
Living in I worked in the restaurants retail world so much. It never ceases to amaze me how angry customers get over the fucking littlest nothings of life. And like a cake is a little off, or like you put lettuce on my sandwich when you weren't supposed to. Now I'm gonna fucking write a review and make a whole scene and throw the sandwich, across the one time actually, a customer threw a bag of chips at one of our workers, right?
What?
Yeah. I know. So one of our
Why?
Because he was mad because things were taking too long. So he spoke up, and our manager at the time said, "Sir, you're next in line." Just said something back to him. And he huffed and puffed and grabbed a bag of chips from our front where all the chips are, and threw it in her face. Then he started walking out like a little asshole, like he was doing it as he was walking out, so you wouldn't get caught. But as he was walking out, one of our workers took a tube of mayonnaise, like a squirt bottle worth of mayonnaise that was full. It's about this tall, this thick. Probably weighs 2 pounds.
Okay.
Threw it across the restaurant towards our front door at the customer.
That's not good.
Not good. Like hard. Like hit the wall.
Yeah.
Spattered. Fell down. Our customer picked it up, threw it back at her across the counter towards all of our workers and across people. And it hit our back wall.
And then ricocheted and killed your
Then then had concussion, dead.
Concussion, protocol. I mean, it's sandwich protocol.
Anyways, not to derail, I apologize.
You can't make a sandwich for like 2 days.
Right, exactly. But anyway, I apologize.
No, that should be like a photo. You take a photo, and then you post it, hey, don't serve this customer.
Yeah, the point is, it's unbelievable how worked up people, like, you didn't get a sandwich today, or it took you 45 seconds longer than you thought. You're gonna. Okay.
That's so funny that they threw it.
And it's like, Jesus Christ! So now
you weren't there that day.
I wasn't there. That I had to watch it on video because it was like Sunday afternoon. And so now, like, it was the customer's fault. But now I got to go talk to my worker. We're like, you threw a 2-pound item hard at a customer's face. Like, obviously you can't.
Did they keep their job?
Can't do that. Yes.
We love you, Steven.
I wish it was Steven. No, it was somebody that's.
Don't worry. No. Protect them.
Doesn't matter.
So this is the chef or the baker with the cake talking on the TikTok. So apparently I made this 6-year-old cry. She's heartbroken.
6? Oh God, she was 6. Okay.
Ruined her entire birthday.
Oh God.
Because this cake is just so ugly.
Jesus.
He says in the video. Literally says, you have over 1 million followers and can't decorate a simple unicorn cake?
Oh my God. I love it. It's so funny to me.
He explains that the customer, the mother of the 6-year-old, brought the cake back in for him to remake it.
if you're unsatisfied, you're unsatisfied. That's one thing, but we'll see.
The unhappy mom had many gripes with the cake. She said it didn't match the inspiration picture that she provided.
Okay.
She didn't like the roses, for example. She thought the border looked like toothpaste. And the text being written in cursive was not kid-friendly. Just to name a few.
Like she cussed at the what do you mean not kid friendly?
Happy fucking birthday!
Hey, fucking birthday, bitch! Like what? What do you mean it's not kid friendly? You have a cock in your mouth. Like what? What does that even mean?
Good thing you're 6, because you're gonna be. It's gonna suck because 7, 8, 9.
Kill yourself.
It's a real wolf of a number. Enjoy 6, bitch.
Like what does that even mean?
I don't know.
Like didn't you tell him what to make? Like what to write on there?
This was the original cake design.
This is what he made.
This is what the
6
guy
magical
made.
birthday.
6 magical birthday.
Lighten.
Toothpaste
May.
cursive, apparently.
Okay. I don't know about where the non-kid friendly, but okay. It looks mostly
Looks
fine.
sweet. It's like a sweet.
I see the ears and the unicorn horn. Okay. I mean, I get it.
So the baker continued. The kicker for me was the colors. I went out of my way to use natural food colors she supplied because of an allergy. Because no other place that she asked would do it.
Okay. This lady's horrible. Okay.
So he mixed them to make them darker for the client's request.
Okay.
He doesn't usually share customer interactions, but decided to film himself redoing the cake with a second unicorn design. Because if you come into my business and treat me like I'm an incompetent piece of trash and say you're going to start posting stuff, then I'm going to post stuff too and stand up for myself.
There's a line, man. There's a line between customer service and not getting treated like shit. There, I'm all about like.
Is it throwing a 2-pound tube of mayonnaise?
Yeah,
is that the line?
One of the lines. That's one of the lines.
I think that's a line you don't cross.
Yeah, you don't cross that line, but I get it. I get it. Like because I'll take a lot of stuff, and customer service is kind of your job.
You don't throw cake. You throw pies.
That's better, especially cream.
Why is pie funnier than cake?
I don't know. I think it sticks to your face more. So if you throw a cake, it kind of just falls off your face, and not much is stuck. Okay. But a cream pie, face is covered.
Huh.
So that's better, funnier.
But I mean, like a cream cake.
Well, what's a cream cake?
Well, just not a very thick frosting, I guess. More of like a.
Yeah, but it's mostly cake, and that's still gonna just fall off your face.
So what's funnier? So it's funnier to throw the pie.
Right.
Funnier to push your head
Smash
in
the cake. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. 2 different things. Smashing your head in the cake. Funny.
Funnier.
Pie
in face.
Funny.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you for the comedy 101.
You're welcome. Now we got bananas involved.
Bananas are always funny.
Talking something different.
Bananas are always funny.
Yeah.
So he says, if you don't like the cake, then let's just have a polite conversation.
For sure.
And you know, I mean, we don't need to go.
You don't need to do all this. Just let me know you don't like it. Yeah.
Not coming at me hot.
Yeah, makes sense.
Saying I crushed your 6-year-old's unicorn dreams.
Yeah, that's that that if I was him, I'd almost out of spite, like on my website now, it's like Treat Yourself Bakery crushing 6-year-olds' dreams since 2019 or whatever the fuck, because that's when you get really
crushing dreams.
Yeah, because like I notice with customers they do that a lot too. If something's a little bit wrong, they feel like they have to make it seem more to get whatever free or to get, so they're like, I'm going to exaggerate this and say, instead of just saying I don't really like this cake, they go, you made my daughter cry, it ruined her birthday. So that way they think that like the person who owns the business is going to feel worse or something, even though but everyone in that world knows that customer's lying when they exaggerate stuff like that.
All right. So he even made a follow-up video to explain what happened next.
Okay, with the second cake.
The customer came back.
For the second cake.
Yeah, so
okay.
She says the mom called before she came back in and asked if she could get the replacement cake as well as...
Yep, here it is.
The refund.
Fucking knew it. Yep, exactly. Nope, I knew it.
Basically getting the cake for free.
Exactly. It's like it's always something like that. And I promise you, this mom wanted a free cake from the jump. Okay. That was her plan from the jump. This is a nice place. They charge a little bit more, but I like their cakes, So what's going to happen is I'm going to tell them to make it. I'm going to make a big fuss and then tell them to give me the cake and for free. It was the plan from the start. I promise you. I promise you.
Wow.
And it makes me. This is bringing back PTSD.
This is the Cape Caper.
This is PTSD.
I come back to the Cape Caper.
Did he eat
the
half of it?
bakery owner opted to give her the refund, but not the cake.
Good. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's one or the other, man. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Boom.
Actually, well, I think she was trying to, right?
That's what she wanted.
So the owner says, yeah, I'm sensitive. It may not have been the best of me to share that interaction, but
I get it. Yeah.
I'm sick of feeling guilty for sticking up for myself.
Yeah.
If you need an 8-inch cake laced with crushed unicorn 6-year-old dreams, I'm selling it in the case for $10.
Good. Yeah, hell yeah. My $50 cake now is $10 because of you, and I'm happy to give it to somebody for $10. Mm-hmm. Good for him.
Mm-hmm. But online people are like totally supportive.
They're with him.
Of him.
Okay, good. How do you feel? Okay, how do you feel? Like, did he go too far, or do you feel like no, that she was too far and he needed to do something?
You know, it's such a different world with online
Yep.
stuff, right?
Yep.
I think it's so weird now because I would say like you know when they go low, go high.
Yeah, for the most part.
And that would not mean posting it,
right?
A reaction thing on TikTok,
right?
But man, it's like how much abuse can you do?
It's hard because customers do have that bullet in the chamber now of, oh really? I'm gonna go online and say this about you. I'm gonna spread it. I have 300,000 followers. I'm gonna say this and that and this about you. So it's a little scary for a business owner because it can damage you. And so I'm all about going high when they go low, but I've seen an example because maybe you don't do what he did, maybe. But I've seen an example when a business will fight back directly against like a Yelp review, where like someone will say something bad, and then they'll go, "Oh, actually, if you remember, you did this and this and this." Like they're responding directly, opposed to like on their own just posting something online. Mm-hmm. They'll like defend themselves that way, which I get because you can't just let people say whatever. But it's a hard time when customers can just, especially if you have followers, threaten that. And then now your business tanks or whatever the hell. So it's a little frustrating knowing what to do.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I don't give too much credence though to like Yelp reviews.
Exactly.
I look at like the top one the bottom one and throw those two out.
Yep. And normally, which is smart because most of them are dumb. Normally, if it's a low review, you can read a couple and gauge anyway. Even if you don't throw any out, you can gauge, oh, this customer was mad over nothing. You can tell like when things are exaggerated or not real.
This restaurant eats half the cake.
Yeah, all that kind of shit. Usually you can
I
tell.
ordered the spaghetti and...
And it was not on the plate.
It was not there.
Yeah, no, you can usually tell how a customer describes their bad experience of like, oh, this was your fault or it's exaggerated. So but the thing is, you got to read it. Sometimes people just look at those numbers, the stars, and which I don't anymore either because there's so many. And sometimes you can read good reviews and be like, oh, you had your cousin write that. The way they talk about it. So
I ordered oysters and it was just the shells, just shells.
It's so weird, so weird.
Everything was sucked right out.
Yeah, and it wasn't even an oyster place.
It was even stranger. Yeah. But so they're saying that the replacement cake, no worries, it's sold.
Good, yeah, good.
They were able to sell their replacement cake, so that's good.
Good, easy. Good. I love it.
But
I like that he did this. It wasn't too harsh. You know what I mean? It wasn't too harsh. It was like, no, you're in the wrong. You know, I wish he would have said the lady gave a review that was bad.
Oh.
Because it would make me feel better about him doing this. Cake's here.
The cake is here.
It would make me feel better about him doing this. Like if he did this on his own and the lady didn't like leave a review about her experience, then it's like, why did you then talk about the lady? Because no one would have known about the bad experience. You made people know about the bad experience. Sure. That's my only little,
So, look, this was not talked about at all in the article, and we might want to take this out. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But it is two men married
that
do the bakery.
Right.
So, I know in the past there was a whole lawsuit about people not wanting to make a cake for a same-sex couple.
Yes.
That was a big old deal.
Right.
Do you think
Do I have the right to do
there's
that?
a chance that maybe they were targeted
Yeah.
because they're a gay couple?
It sucks to like presume that.
I know, but I'm just throwing
Yes.
that out. It's not in the article at all.
And it sucks to say yes, but there's always a chance yes. I don't. Maybe this lady.
It didn't even come up.
Right. And that's.
And I don't want. That's why I don't want to bring it up.
Yeah,
because
maybe
I feel
take it out. Maybe take it out. But it's. I don't think you're wrong for asking because it's 100% a possibility and it's happened too much. So that's why it's like it's weird that it's even a thing to come up.
Yeah.
So who knows? But it's definitely always a possibility of why she felt that. It sounds like to me. I'm telling you, dude. I fucking know these customers like a book. That she just always knew she wanted a free cake and she was going to do whatever it took to get it because they do good cakes and they're a little expensive. So she was going to try to scam them. That's my guess.
Okay, so my question I have to you, though, is have you, and you have worked in the restaurant business for a while.
Right.
Have you made a complaint? Have you ever made, like...
I've never done an online complaint.
Okay.
Ever. So, like, there's been times, like, I got a DoorDash and it was whatever. It wasn't the restaurant necessarily, but it was, like, a complaint about whatever. I just call them and be like, hey, I don't know how you want to handle it, but here, I just let them know, here's what happened. I never call demanding.
Like, I don't live in New Jersey.
Yeah, I don't know why they paid. No, I never called demanding for anything or asking for anything because I know in the restaurant business and even at Apple, I worked in tier 2 escalations. People would come like, this happened and you need to give me this and you need to do this for me. I always go, shut off. And that person's not getting shit from me. And he could have. I had the ability. I knew my way around shit. I could have done it. And I always shut off. So I never start off the conversation like that. I will say, yesterday we just came back from the Bay Area, Jesse's brother's house. We were watching the game, and we stopped at Panera. Got Nora a sandwich, and Jesse got some soup. We got whatever. We got stuff. It was busy, which is okay, fine. We didn't even have to wait that long, but it was busy, and the managers in the back making the stuff, and all you hear was him cussing at his people.
Oh no!
Throwing stuff down
because
he was like maybe short staffed or something, had a lot of orders, and he was banging stuff around. And when he was putting stuff on the counter, he would throw the bags on the counter, and like you heard like the plates that people were on, you hear like all this ruckus. So we finally got our bag of stuff as he throws it on the counter. We go to the car, we open it up, and we look at it. We're like, is this everything? Yeah, it's everything. And we open up our little bag, and each sandwich was like a half a sandwich. And we didn't pay for half a sandwich. Pay for our whole sandwich. But it was like clearly a piece of bread cut in half. It was like a teeny little thing. We're like, well, we paid a lot of money for this. It was already overpriced. Like we can't just, like in most situations, to answer your question, I would have just left. I'm like, let's chalk this one up. And I was like, no, we paid a lot of money for it. So I went back in, and I was like, hey.
Did you like throw it back at him?
Yeah, throw it back at him.
Yay!
No, but I went back in again, very polite.
I'm gonna beat you with a baguette.
So the first thing I did before I even told him what happened, I gave the lady at the counter my receipt. I said, hey, can you tell on this receipt if these sandwiches we ordered were supposed to be half or whole? Because I didn't want to assume maybe we made the mistake and we ordered half a sandwich by accident. I said, can you check? Is there any way you can see that? And oh yeah, let me see your receipt. She looked up her order. She's like, yeah, these are whole sandwiches. So I go, okay. So I opened up my little sandwich thing and I go, we got half a sandwich and we paid for a whole. She's like, okay, well, what do you want to do? I was like, so even then I was like, well, I said, whatever's easiest for you.
Kind of want the other half.
Yes.
That I paid for.
Yeah. I said, whatever's easiest for you. Like if you need to remake them or can you just refund us for like the difference? She's like, well, it'd probably be easier for a refund. And I was like, cool. I don't want to wait for this asshole anyway. But now she goes, well, I have to go get my manager. So he had to stop what he was doing.
Oh, good.
Throwing shit around, making food, to come up to me and stop all the tickets he was supposed to be making and go. The first thing he says is like, so what'd you want? So I explained it to him. He's like, so what do you want, a refund? I was like, if you can just give me, if the refund's easier, it's easier than remaking it. Just the difference between half the sandwich. Oh, okay. Clicking around. He's like, I'll just give you the refund for it. I was like, okay. Well, I need the card you use. I was like, oh, I gotta go. It was Jesse's card. I was like, I gotta go back. No, any card. Just give me any card. So he swiped it, and then I got the full refund for a whole.
Did he throw the card back at you?
Yeah.
Here's your card.
Cut me with it. Long story. I apologize. We can cut a lot of that out.
We're going to.
But my point is, even in a situation like that, where I was like, I could have made and remade it. I was like, we ordered a fucking full sandwich. I just said, whatever's easier, man. I don't want to even like deal with this anymore. But even in that situation where I'm completely in the right, I still come at it like, whatever you think, man. Or I don't. Maybe I did something wrong. I'm always leaning on that side. Anyway, long story.
You would never be able to get a sandwich with a soup Nazi.
No. It would be something like, if you could please,
you messed up. Could I get?
I actually, if you could maybe,
Huh?
or maybe I would. 'Cause I would just go okay, and I would just leave. But
And he'd be like, "No soup for you."
Yeah, I don't.
The Holocaust wasn't real.
I don't make.
Okay.
I don't make online complaints.
3 times I said it. It's funny.
I don't. I don't make online complaints. There's been times where if I really don't want to say something and I have to, I do, but I try to avoid it.
All right.
That's all I should have said. Sorry for the 20 minutes.
That was long.
Of
That was the
Panera
podcast
story.
tonight. Is Chris orders a sandwich.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to Chris orders a sandwich.
Cut the rest out. It's like, oh, well, all we got time is for that sandwich story, Chris. Oh, shit. We don't have time for the stories.
Takeaways.
Takeaways. Cakes.
It was a lot about cakes.
A lot about cakes.
I thought it was maybe too much about cake.
Maybe a little bit too much about cake, but it's fine.
We'll see.
It's fine. They're very different cake stories.
Very different.
So that's fine. So
I also like the band cake.
Yeah.
No, the Sacramento.
I get it.
Come on.
I understand why people like it, but sometimes I think that's the only reason why people like
No,
them.
Cake is a good band.
Anyway,
Cake is a good band.
let's hear. So it would be maybe just don't eat cakes.
Oh.
Let it be. Don't order cakes. Don't make cakes. Cakes are too much trouble. Don't have anything to do with cakes. And otherwise, and just be nice to service workers.
Well, okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I think that if you are going to bring a cake for a birthday,
Right.
you need to order from this guy.
Yes, that's true.
Order from this. What was the name of the store?
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself before you wreck yourself.
In North Carolina.
Yeah, and then have that go to the restaurant and have the whole restaurant eat it,
Hell yeah. Order a bunch of them.
and then have the restaurant complain
Yeah, these cakes suck.
and just see what happens.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Make a TikTok.
Join these two stories together and see what type of fight we can have break out.
The ultimate cake fight.
Yeah. I like it. That's
Right? I think that'd be good.
That's a good one.
Oh,
That's a good one. I like that one.
Cake or pie?
Pie.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, pie.
Pie.
I'm not a big fruit pie guy though. I'm more of a meringue. Chocolate,
Oh, sorry. Meringue is made with what?
eggs. Yeah,
And
sugar.
what's the?
It's just egg and sugar.
What's like the main thing of meringue?
It's just egg whites and sugar.
Like lemon? You mean like lemon meringue?
Oh well, there's lots of
You know, a fruit.
there's lots of
A fruit.
There's like
Name me a pie without the fruit.
I'm just
there,
saying
Chris,
like a
that you
baked. I'm just like a
Name me a
baked
fruit.
a fruit pie I don't like.
Yes.
It's a good question. But you know what I mean by
I
a fruit
don't.
pie, like apple pie. You know, the meringue is the main flavor in the meringue. But or
I've never heard of any other fruit. Other
you know
than
how
lemon.
you can buy those chocolate Oreo pies and stuff like a cream
Okay,
pie,
there's
like
no
a
fruit. There's
like
no
a
fruit
cream
in that.
pie.
Sure. Okay.
Give me a cream pie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll let you get away with that.
Cream pie.
Thank you for joining us, Two Guys, Two Things. You can find us at any bakery shop.
Yeah. So we just hit over 1,000 followers on TikTok. We're at Two Guys, Two Things Pod on TikTok. Just search Two Guys, Two Things Pod.
It's crazy because just earlier today we were at 227,
Yeah.
and just like that,
We just hit over 1,000
we
followers
1,000 followers
at Two Guys, Two Things Pod on TikTok.
You must be blowing up.
And we are at Two Guys, Two Things on YouTube. You can find us there.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. I just saw our TikTok. We were at
Give us 230 something. We were at 230 something.
We were at 227. They give us more than 1,000.
Yeah. Well, 1,000 plus 10.
And it also came. It's cool. We bought 1,000 followers, and it came with a piece of cake.
Good piece of cake.
A good, damn good piece of cake.
Yeah, angel food.
That we didn't even make.
No, we didn't.
Well, where else can you find us? For real?
Yeah, for real on TikTok at 2guys2thingspod, and then on TikTok, nope, on YouTube at 2guys2things, and we have videos, full videos of the podcast instead of just the audio. We got clips of it if you don't want to watch the full 45 minutes, but find us there. We're good.
Sounds good. Thanks for listening, and David Letterman.
I do love a David Letterman. Keep that going.